Welcome to Monkey See,
Monkey Review.
where this week we're going to be covering episode 10 of The Bad Batch, Common Ground. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I like this episode.
So before we get into anything right now, we're going to go spoiler alert.
Fine.
If you haven't seen this episode, go watch it. Come back, join us. We'll talk about it.
I just want to jump right into it.
I know, so do I, but
I love The Bad
we
Batch.
had so many people say, hey, y'all want to give spoiler warnings.
I'm sorry.
We just need to put a disclaimer on our channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spoiler alert.
We'll put it in the description. Yeah. Hey, spoilers.
Anyways,
So, okay, first off, love this. I really liked this episode. Thought it was good. A little bit slower after coming off the last episode, which is fine. The last episode was, adrenaline from the beginning to the end. The last two episodes actually have been that way. This episode, good. Slower pace, setting the Bad Batch up to be able to do a few more things in the future. But, overall, did you like this episode?
I did. I loved it. I thought that we're finally starting getting into like the meat of the series, and we're just getting past Order 66 and what's going on with the inhibitor chips, and we're finally getting into some actual storyline for the series as a whole.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was one of those great episodes, like in the Clone Wars, where it's not like a truly main storyline, but kind of a side storyline.
Right.
And it's kind of setting up the universe in a whole right now, as far as what's going on with the Empire and even the Separatists, and how it's affecting them, and how the Empire's wanting to literally control everything. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
Totally was into it, was very surprised, okay? I really knew going into this we were going to get a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different people, a lot of different things. Never once thought that we were going to get an episode focused around the Separatist point of view.
Which I am enjoying.
Yes.
That.
I love the fact that they keep bringing out stuff to surprise us. Even with the Clone Wars, there was a lot of times where you would go whole arcs without really being surprised by something, like other than, oh, that was a really cool moment. Mm-hmm. But with this, like, they've kept things very fresh, very interesting, very surprise. Here's this character. Surprise. This is who this person really is. Mm-hmm. So I'm really, because I believe we have 6 episodes left after this one. I've heard 4, but I've also heard 6 now, going back and forth. I still think we got 16 episodes.
I think they announced 16 was the total.
I've heard 16 and I've heard 14 in a lot.
I thought it was 16.
I'm going with 16 just for wishful thinking.
Yeah, hopefully
for sure.
It'll be 16.
If you don't give me 6 more episodes, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah.
But we have got some very interesting things to cover over the next 6 episodes.
Yes. See, I'm really feeling like they're going to do multiple seasons of this.
Yes.
If they don't, I'm going to be really mad at this point because it's so good.
Yes.
Like, I'm really feeling like they're hopefully 5 or 6 seasons
I
at
could
the minimum.
I would love to see 5 seasons. I think that's more where they want to end things on odd numbers. It's just the way they think about these things. So 5 seasons, 3 to 5 seasons is really what I'm expecting. Mm-hmm. But with this episode, Common Ground, it was definitely one of those moments where you learn that the Separatists are not being quote unquote mistreated by the Empire. Only the fact that they're trying to take over everything that they had.
So now these Separatists are probably going to become part of the Rebel Alliance.
Yes.
Right? It's going to be a big part of it.
Yes.
Which would be interesting because they already have some infrastructure
Yeah.
put in place.
Yeah.
From their side of the war. So I think a lot of things are going to line up together with the Separatists and maybe some of the Rebel Alliance now because they want peace in the galaxy, right?
Yeah. I really feel like we saw in this episode where they're definitely trying to manipulate leaders from the Separatists to step up and say, oh, no, the Empire really wants what's best for all of us. But being people that we already know how things turn out, we know that's not the situation.
Yeah,
that's not
they already
where
said
they're going.
The other senators are already locked up or worse.
Yes.
So you're the one, if you don't do this, you're going to be in the same boat.
Absolutely.
And, but one thing I really enjoyed about this episode, we're back to the Bad Batch doing what they do.
Yes.
I mean, they go in, they get the job done again in spectacular fashion.
Right?
Yeah.
They went up against, we have the 4 clones because they left Omega in Sid's care this time because coming out of the last 2 episodes, they've got 2 bounty hunters on them. They're like, hey, you need to lay low. We need to lay low. And Sid's like, no, you owe me money. You go to work. I'll watch the kid. Which I really did enjoy that aspect of this episode.
Yes.
So the Bad Batch gets sent on this mission, and they really don't know anything other than the fact that it's to the home world of the
Separatists.
the Confederacy of the whole Techno Army, all that. This is where their home base was set up. This is where they honestly just ran their whole side of the war. So it was super cool to finally get there. Even Hunter makes the comment saying, I knew we'd go here to Araxis one day. I just didn't think it was going to be like this.
To help a separatist.
Exactly.
You know, Echo had a
Echo
hard time with it. He was like, this is not okay.
Echo's been a fairly quiet person, but he sure had a whole bunch to say about this episode.
Which he dealt more with the separatists than the Bad Batch themselves. With his time with the 501st.
Yep.
He was probably Gen 1 clone, right?
He was Gen 1 clone.
Yeah, Gen 1 clone. So he saw a lot more than these guys did. So, and a lot more of his brothers die.
Yeah.
So I get from where he's coming from.
He's definitely got some PTSD he's working through, especially with him being captured by the Separatists and experimented on.
Yes.
And, pretty much overhauled into a, cyborg.
Yep.
But, so they're going to this planet, and they find out when they land, it's a droid. Okay, we're going to add insult to injury, okay? They've got to go into a Separatist area. Now they're taking orders from a droid. Oh, dude, I would have loved to have sat there and just had the internal commentary of Hunter and Echo and all them going, no, y'all punking us now.
Nah.
So they go in, no problem, man. Like, they go in and they just take down clone troopers left and right.
And they stun them.
Yeah.
They're still not killing their brothers.
Right. They're still not interested in taking alive. They're only interested in stunning them so that they can get the job done. And the thing is, after, they just go in and they get the dude. No problem. And on their way out, they run into a few little issues here and there, but still never stop stunning the clone troopers.
Even whenever
because
the
they
tanks
know it's not their fault.
shooting at them,
Yeah.
they still wouldn't fire back on it. Now the aircraft that came in started firing on all the tanks and everything, but they never did. Which, how awesome was it? They take over that tank in a matter of 5 seconds.
Right.
How are you going to take over a tank? Watch this. Get out of the way.
Move over. Let me show you how we do
Boom.
this. Dude, so they take out that tank, commandeer it, and then
Take out another tank.
take out another tank.
Yep.
Then they go in and have a third tank on them, a fourth tank coming, air support coming in, and they're unwilling to fire on the clones. But the clones are eradicating each other just to try to get at the Bad Batch.
All about following orders.
Absolutely. Good soldiers follow orders. That's the mentality. That's the thing that's blowing my mind, is how ingrained that is in them, and you're starting to see how deep it goes.
Which I'm excited to see this part of the Star Wars storyline, as far as what happens with the clones in this time period, right? With the Empire taking over in this time zone, in this time period. It's interesting because, you follow the Clone Wars series, you fall in love with these guys.
Yeah.
Some of the best characters to come out
Right.
of Star Wars universe, Rex and them, Commander Cody,
Absolutely.
all of them, right?
Right.
And then now you see all of the clones that are on the complete opposite side, right?
Right.
They're taking over, pushing the civilians out of the way,
Yeah.
and just straight killing people and put them in place.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see this unfold on screen.
Right.
Right. And I'm excited to see where they continue to take it.
Right.
That's why I'm hoping we have more episodes or more seasons of this,
Yes,
because
yes.
there's a lot that they can cover beyond just the Bad Batch, and hopefully they continue to expand it like they are.
Right.
It's not at this point with this episode. It's not just about the Bad Batch.
Right.
It's about everyone in the galaxy.
Yeah.
And their struggles against the Empire.
Yeah. I really, I'm dude, there's so many things I can say about this that it's just like, where do you even begin? I really think we're going to get multiple seasons, of course, but I really want to see where the Separatists fall into play now. Because we rescue one of the senators of the Separatists, and take him back. We see Sid at the end saying, "It's good to see you, Senator. Let's talk about payment now." So they've rescued him. What role does he play? Does he just merely go into hiding now? Does he go into helping build a potential Rebel Alliance? We know the Rebel Alliance really doesn't get formed officially. There's a bunch of Rebel cells that grow and do their own thing, but they don't come together until about 13 years, 14 years into the Empire's run, because we saw that in Rebels. We saw the finally starting to come together through Fulcrum, through all the other characters that are, helping to build the Rebel Alliance. But one of the big things has been one of the underlining things in this whole season so far is the reason the Bad Batch hasn't moved off from where they're at is they owe money to Sid.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Homegirl Omega them,
Yeah.
brought the pain. She done did her thing.
So now we're finding out even more about her
Gifts.
genetics and gifts and stuff, and
Yes.
that she can strategize better than anybody, right?
Right.
And even Sid's surprised and shocked by it.
Yeah.
And she puts her to work.
Yeah.
And, Omega being smart, what's going to be my cut?
Yeah.
30%? How about 60?
60%.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sid sits there and is like, okay.
And now they're friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
they're buddies.
Yeah. So now they have mutual respect for each other.
Yeah.
In that aspect, which I want to know who won the final game.
Right.
Right.
So, right. Because
Yeah.
the way they end the whole episode is Hunter and Omega sit down. Hunter's like, "Oh, you're good at strategizing? Let's see. If you win, you get to go on missions again. If you don't, we're gonna stick with the arrangement we kind of got right now."
So what'd you think about whenever Hunter was giving Omega orders on the mission and she wasn't there anymore?
Right.
And then Tech is even like,
that would be impossible because Omega is back with Sid.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
it just shows you in his mind, he may not say it, but she's constantly in the back of his mind of how she is, where she is, making sure she's taken care of.
and she's part of the team.
And she is part of the team in his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that to me just is another one of those clinch moments where it's just like, okay, we may have lost Crosshairs early in the season. Hopefully he'll come back around.
Oh, he'll definitely come back around.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even if it's just a momentary redemption and then, they take him out, he's coming back around.
Yeah.
But they've already filled that slot of their team going from a 4-man back to the 5-man squad.
Yep.
Yeah, so I loved it. I loved it when they walked in and Wrecker's like the first one into the Sid's bar, and all the people are there, and Omega's just sitting there playing her game, and he just like walks over, just gets a big grin on his face,
Yep.
like
Proud
she's doing-
uncle.
proud uncle
Yep.
moment, like that.
Yeah, and even at the end, whenever Hunter's getting onto her and Wrecker's like,
Yeah,
Stop it.
Wrecker like arm checks him as he walks by, and it just gives him the look like, you make this right. You quit being a jerk.
yep.
Yeah, so
Yep.
Wrecker is again coming in and like my favorite clone still.
Mm-hmm.
He's killing it. Hunter's coming around. He's stepping up. He's becoming the uncle, the father figure. But Wrecker just falls into that role real easy, real quick.
He's just fun, right?
Yeah.
That's his character, and that's just who he is, and
Absolutely.
he doesn't change.
He's a fun character.
Mm-hmm.
He is a big, bulky, wrecking ball of fun.
Yep.
But okay, so what would you give this episode though?
I'm probably going to give it a 4.3, just
4.3?
because I feel like this sets up the Bad Batch storyline overall.
Yeah.
From start to finish, what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And it's expanding,
Yeah.
their story
Yeah.
for what we're going to see hopefully in the future episodes and seasons of this series.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's a solid. I like a 4.3. I'm gonna actually go with a 4.3 too, because of the fact I feel like it's a good transition point from where we've been. The whole mystery of Omega, we're kind of past that. Bounty hunters, we're kind of past that. Now we're to the point of we're transitioning them into a real squad.
Yep.
This is no longer just, oh, we're gonna teach you things. She's shown her gift.
Yep.
She has shown one of her gifts in that strategy and been able to help, clear up the battlefield. So I think we're going to start seeing her where she may not be on the field, she may be in the ship, but she's going to be able to, looking through their goggles, looking through their lenses.
Kind of like how Crosshair would before.
Right.
Help run some of the overall.
Yeah, she'll be the sharpshooter on the tower watching all the pieces in play.
Yep.
I think that's where we're heading with her character.
Yes, I agree with you. You know, we're past, like you said, Omega's Mystery. We're past the inhibitor chip.
Yeah.
We're past Order 66.
Yes.
You know, so now we're finally getting into the series as a whole.
Right. And just not just their place, but everything's place.
I know.
I gotta fly. But everybody's place, not just this team, but all these other pieces on the universal scale and on the universal board of where everybody's finding their spot.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked. I think this is going to be a great six more episodes.
Yep.
And it's going to be one of those one of those series that at the end of it, if they stick the landing and they do this right, that people are going to be like, hey, Dave Filoni and they're bringing the A game. They are absolutely killing it, and I'm really excited to see where we go.
So am I.
I'm going to say now we'll probably get 3 more episodes that are kind of disjointed episodes, but there's going to be a 3-episode arc at the end of the season.
That'd be good.
I
Hopefully, the last episode would be a longer one too.
Yeah, I would love to see a longer episode for the last episode,
Yep.
just so we can get some things drawn out instead of so rushed.
Yeah, because wasn't the last episode of the Clone Wars season 7 longer than?
I believe so.
I thought it was longer.
I think all the other episodes are around 22 minutes, and I think this one wound coming in clocked at 26 to 28 minutes. So it wasn't like over half an hour,
But it was.
but it was a still full 25, 28 minutes, somewhere in that range. But it was a good episode. I actually started rewatching that whole thing this morning.
It's wonderful.
Oh, that last 3 episodes, the Ahsoka arc. But anyways, we can go on and on.
Yeah, we can.
All right, so that's it for this week from Monkey C.
Monkey Review.
Leave us a like,
Subscribe.
leave a comment, and share this with a friend. Please, we've had some great growth over the last few weeks. We really want to see the trend continue. Love you guys. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, guys.